at Radio Free America, and this is Uncle Sam with music and the truth until dawn. Right now, I've got a few words for some of our brothers and sisters in the occupied zone. The chair is against the wall. The chair is against the wall. John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. It's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, this is your song.
And welcome everybody to our Daily Gun Show. We come to you live every night at midnight Eastern. That's 9 Pacific for about an hour each night. We'll do 3 gun-related topics, different topics throughout the week. We'll plan those on Monday, so if you'd like to be part of the creation of the show, join us then. We'll simulcast, or we'll broadcast it on YouTube live, and we'll simulcast it over on gunchannels.com. We're watching the comments from the people that watch the show live, and we take the best of audio and we post that up on iTunes. We're doing it right. We have hosts. We got Angelina jumping in from California. Thanks for joining.
Thanks for having me. Hello, everyone.
And we got Bob coming in from Canada. Thanks for jumping in.
Hey, everybody. It's Bob.
And we don't know where everybody else is. I'm down here in Tucson, so we do have some other hosts. Sometimes they'll jump in a little bit later on. We're on episode 513, so it's Wednesday, so we'll be doing entertainment. And hopefully some other people will jump in. We want to be able to do the good idea, bad idea, where we hash out one of the gun topics this week. It's cleaning guns after each outing. We'll talk about games that you can play when you're shooting, and we do the hashtag Daily Gun Show Showdown. So all of our daily stuff as well. Do we want to stop, talk about any of the stuff that happened in any of the warm-up shows or anything else that happened today?
No, I mean, most of the warm-up shows were self-explanatory. They were their usual shows, so yeah, they were all entertaining and a good warm-up for a real gun show.
Is that us?
Yeah, that's us.
I feel like that too. So yeah, I've been working kind of underneath the hood over on Gun Channels again for a bit, and then I might hit scramble. I must have been doing a couple other things this afternoon too, and then Matt's chat was just crazy. So I guess just texted Jimmy here. We'll see if he jumps in. Should we just jump into the topics then?
Yeah.
Target games, target or dartboards, the bottles, and baseball games. So I don't know if you've all seen the different types of, I guess, photographs. The ones I'm thinking of at least are basically photographs, but different types of games you can play with targets when you're at the shooting range.
Like the red shoot the red hat, shoot the blue triangle. Is that what you mean?
I guess that's one of them too. I'm thinking there's one that literally looks like a dartboard. Like it just looks like a photograph of a dartboard for darts. And then there's ones that look like bottles. They just look like a bunch of bottles on shelves, and then you just shoot at them. There's some that look like cards that you can play card games with
and
people.
Like the red star. I mean, I guess that's kind of one.
I haven't seen that one. So that one's, or you mean the one where you have to shoot the star out?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've definitely seen that one.
Yeah, that's well, do you ever play like horse but with guns?
Just on a regular target, you mean?
Yeah, just like, I mean, you don't have like a, fancy target or anything. You just have, whatever is your target.
Yeah, often. So you got like a lot of times we'll have that one big one, and then sometimes they'll have like a little tiny one, either for sighting in or for whatever reason. There's that little tiny one, or you can just draw a couple extra shapes or crosshairs or something on it, and then we'll shoot kind of. I don't know if we shoot at the same bull. We'll shoot across from each other.
So it's like desert rat games. That's what we always do.
Bob's been.
What about the What about like? Well, I'll let Bob say, but what about like I mean, it's kind of a gun game, that laser light thing where you set up a target in your house.
Oh, we definitely played with those.
Oh yeah.
So they invited us up one time and gave us a tour of everything. So they invited a YouTube channel up, and then gave us a tour of everything, and then went, okay, no photographs. I was like, okay, that's super frustrating. So they gave us a tour of everything, and then they gave us a whole bunch of targets. So that was fun. So that was right before you came up, I think, Bob. And then Bob came out and we went to Big Sandy. So we had Joe's kid who was loving it and just a mess of those targets. And I think like 4 guns, and basically had our own little shooting gallery there. Each of them got a battery and different targets, and then the cans that when you hit them, they fall over and stuff.
Yeah, those things are awesome.
And you can definitely play games with those. The one target, the larger one, has it shows your hits, so you could, there's literally a score on it, or you can just, try to have 2 of them next to each other, try to be better than the person next to you.
Try to beat Bob.
It's easy. He's shaky. So he's had a couple of beers, and then he gets
after a couple of beers, I'm super steady.
Yeah, super steady.
Activates the ninja powers.
But when you go to the range, you normally go outdoor ranges then, or indoor?
I prefer to go to the desert. If I go to a range, I prefer outdoor range.
A lot of times the indoors will have like a wall of the paper targets, and then sometimes in an indoor range you'll see more variety, and that's where they might have like the deck of cards or the dartboard or the baseball game.
The outdoor range I go to, they actually have pretty good targets. You know, when they do like the tennis ball on the string, the playing cards, like you said, like those zombie react targets, all that kind of stuff. They actually have a pretty good assortment.
Oh, see, that's annoying because we have most of the ranges. Well, 2 of the ranges in Tucson area are NRA ranges, so that means no ears, no hands, no eyes, or anything that looks too much more than a silhouette. So they won't let the zombie targets in. But tennis ball on a rope, that's a good one. I haven't thought about that one.
Yeah, that one's and it lasts kind of a while too.
22s or something, that would last for a while.
Yeah, not with real guns though.
I mean, when you go with someone who like can't shoot too, it lasts for a long time.
Hit it. Fun is to use
them off the target stands out there, or I guess I was thinking more like
yeah, like, well, so if the outdoor range that I go to, it has basically I guess they're railroad ties, and then it has holes drilled in it, and you get like a PVC frame with a like cardboard in the middle, and then you staple or tape your targets up to it, or you can like tie. But so when you shoot the PVC, obviously you got to go get a new target and you got to pay for that one. But indoor ranges with the tennis ball, when you can clip it to the, what's it called, the carriage. I like that a little bit better.
Chassis.
The chassis. Now you make me feel like I say it wrong, and I don't know how to say it anymore.
Well, the classy way of saying it, and then there's the low class way of saying it. So, Jimmy, we're talking about targets that are games, shooting games at the range.
I like them trees, the dueling trees. Those are pretty fun. You could do that with a buddy, or you could do that by yourself, or whatever. They're pretty cool.
Those are fun.
They're fun to shoot, yeah. All kinds of trees, spruce trees, birch trees.
Of course, Bob takes it there. Yeah. But no, those things, I was tempted to bring them, but we said, well, the thing was, it says target games, right? Why was I thinking paper, I guess? So I agree. Those things are awesome. In a 22 one, or like a 9mm and lower, those things aren't very big. Once they get, for like rifle, they get bigger, but my friend's got one that's pretty decent. Pretty easy.
Yeah, but you can get those little, like you said, though, you can get those little baby pistol round ones that are like maybe 4 feet, something like that. Not even, right?
Yeah, his like 3 feet tall, and it's just the one post. It's kind of a clever design. Some guy at a gun show had it, and I think he paid $100, $130 maybe.
Yeah, and that's cool too, because those little pistol ones are not super expensive when you get into the bigger ones, and obviously the more steel and whatever.
And it's ultimate fun because you constantly, there's no way to win really. It's kind of a little bit of chance, but then skill, right? So
yeah, absolutely.
Better than you isn't always going to win. You can always like hit that last one over or something.
Yeah, even for yourself for practice, keeping your eyes on the front sight and all that. I mean, it's great for even if you're solo.
I wish Pickle Scratcher was over here donating. He can go to gearwebsites.com, buy anything he wants. See what's going on in Matt's chat a minute ago?
No, what happened?
Pickle Scratcher is just giving money.
$250 in super chats or something like that.
Dang.
More.
I need super chat.
I'm getting there, man. I got another couple of subscribers. I'm really, really chuffed. I'm going to have to make a new video.
All right. Well, we got off targets there. Any other games at the range?
Well, I mean, paper ain't like invalid because they, you know, I mean, even Ghost, he's got those drills, you know, the little circles. So you can kind of make a game out of that, I guess. But you need a couple targets.
Yeah. Back in the day, we used to shoot into water at this range. They'd sit us with the 22s, and we would just shoot at this big lake, basically, bottom of a quarry. And we'd throw corn cobs out there. You know, the 22s that come in the plastic, like little plastic boxes.
Oh, yeah.
And they'd float for a little bit. Paper 22 boxes would float for a bit, and then marshmallows. And man, I can't imagine. That was about some of the most fun stuff I've ever had, is just shooting at little floating marshmallows and corn cobs and stuff that don't sink right off the bat.
And yeah,
the direct hit, you can sink a marshmallow, but it's ultimate fun. Just shooting next to them, you can make a little suction in the water, and they sink down and come back up.
Yeah, we did the same thing when we was in the Scouts, but they made us do 2 liters, and we would have to untie the cap and loop it around on the inside, and then retie the cap. So when we were done shooting, we'd have to retrieve the bottles.
That's kind of like cool though. Like, you know.
Well, yeah, I mean they'd pop around, but it ain't like it wasn't as much of a challenge as I would imagine like little marshmallows and stuff like that would be back in, I don't know. My day was in the 90s though, so I guess it was kind of like more eco-friendly. I don't know.
We used to throw old oil cans in the dugout and then shoot them apart until they sank. Plus, they made really cool colors on the dugout that all the cows and horses drank out of. We were kids, and it was
that's
yeah.
So I guess on that note,
yeah. One of the reasons the world might be the way it is
as far as
60s really didn't know any better.
How it was. Well, anyway, so
anybody ever just, I don't know what Bob was saying. Was he saying something weird? But I don't know if it's really a game, but you ever take shotgun shells, stick them into the sand if you're out in the desert or whatever, and then shoot 22s at them?
Yeah.
That's kind of
and then another thing too. I heard somebody, I think it was Angelina. I heard somebody said a tennis ball on a string or something.
Yeah.
But you could do Dead Horse actually brought this up to me, and then you can do cans, you can use tennis balls, whatever. But just set them up, whatever you're shooting. If you're shooting rifle, whatever, 50, 100 yards away, and then just pop them up off the ground, and as they're going, just keep shooting at them and stuff. And don't they have those, what are them self-heal things? I never shot at one of those, but I've always been intrigued by them.
Oh, those like the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, those things are kind of cool.
And yeah, those things are neat, and they kind of scoot around, especially if you're out in the desert or in the woods, and you can just shoot at them, and they just kind of scoot around. Yeah. Keep your eye out, because I found every one I own, I found because somebody left it out there, and I grabbed it.
Yeah, that's the ones I have too. Left ones.
Usually orange. Keep your eye out for orange. It's always a good idea.
And they work as advertised, kind of.
Yeah, they last kind of a long time.
Yeah, they work until you lose them. I mean, I guess you can't. I have shot them up eventually, because in the sun they'll get pretty gross.
Oh, sweet.
1 gallon propane tanks and sparklers. That's all I'm going to say.
We're just getting into targets at this point. Roosted saying empty powder cans work good for hanging targets. Imagine, because you can keep shooting them like an oil. Well, okay, it's probably not a good idea. I like ceramic tiles. Just keep shooting them, and they keep just turning into dust eventually.
Yeah, I've had a bunch of those like left over when we go to the desert, and we'll find like a stack of them. I guess people just didn't want to load it back up in their truck or whatever and drive off with it, so they just let them. We shot those before. Pretty neat to blow up.
Okay, well, so we'll get into
it. Like bowling pin.
I've shot at bowling pins. We have, if you go to, sometimes you go to bowling alleys, they'll sell them to you for like $1. Sometimes they'll give them to you. Other times they'll act like they're super valuable. But if you can find a bowling alley that has them, you can get a whole mess of them. They last for quite a while.
Yeah, they take a beating.
We used to use them with my paper targets, and you'd put a bowling pin at the base of a paper target, and then you take your shots at the paper, and then use the bowling pin as if the person was rolling around and grabbing their gun from the ground, like a headshot.
A bowling pin once, and the only way is we did like a mag dump with an AK into it, and then it started looking bad. But it held up pretty good.
All right, all this stuff, we'll end it with, of course, bring all that crap home with you. Bring a garbage bag or whatever.
For sure. Yeah, if you
clean up after yourself.
Yeah, if you leave crap out in the desert after you've been out shooting, you're an ass.
So then we'll get into good idea, bad idea. We like to feature one of the members over at Gun Channels each day between the first and second segment. Today it's Roosted Films, one of the new members over there, but often rolling with his own channel or their own channel. So we got a link to it. And actually, this week I think I grabbed people that were in the chat when I was scheduling the show. So this is just people that are randomly selected. But if you've got suggestions for people, I saw in the chat earlier that Ghost, what does he say? He's only a couple of hundred. Gotta scroll up. He's only 125 subs away from his 1,000. He's a mod, so if you would, Ghost, throw a link to your chat in there, your YouTube channel, and we'll encourage people to Gun Channels blitz him. 125 away from his 1,000, then he can do the super chats over there. And,
come on, man. That's not right.
You're a host. You get to plug your shit every night. Your half an hour end of the show time.
Yeah, you rant at the end of the show for 20 minutes. Yeah. But everybody, while you're doing that, though, for Ghost, make sure you do it for Roosted, too. He's a real good guy. Been real involved with a lot of the chat, so.
Yep, he's out there right now, letting us know about what's happening.
Yeah, Roosted's a good.
What we're gonna do right now. This is happening. Just
Josh, Roosted's a good guy. That's all I'm gonna say.
He's now one of our moderators. We appreciate it. Thank you. And you can punch up to everybody except us. All right. So Gary's only 824 away, so he'll be a future blitzy.
Hey,
there we go. Appreciate it.
Blitz.
I know it's twisting the Ghost's arm to self-promote after he got all that abuse, but I do appreciate it. He is doing a lot of good stuff. He just put out that Yankee video, so go check it out and encourage you to sub his channel.
It's Wanky Ranger. Right? Wanky.
Anyways, it's good to have some fun. We're going to get into not fun. We're going to get into a big fight right now. Good idea, bad idea. So cleaning guns after each outing. Angelina, yes or no?
No. Well, like my
no. Bob.
No.
Jimmy.
Phenomenal idea.
Yes. And then cleaning guns after each outing. Nah. So wait, we had 3 no's and a yes?
Yeah, I think so.
Wait, did you mean like a carry pistol? That's all I wanted to know. If it's my carry pistol, then yes. Anything else, no.
So now you're qualifying it. You went to the Dano school. A good idea, bad idea.
Yeah, really. Like, is Dano
it's all about initial...
Dano's my dad.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Supposed to
it's showing.
So,
See? Dano's her dad. I told you.
So did we have 3 no's and a yes?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, you guys are insane.
Okay, so Jimmy gets to explain why he's crazy, why he's the only lone one on that side.
No, I don't know, but I mean, I don't like to leave things that can cause malfunctions and things that I may or may not have to use somewhere down the line, like a piece of grease wrapping up with a piece of dust, wrapping up with some carbon fiber and getting into my extractor and causing a malfunction. Or no, I'd rather be safe than dead. Crazy.
Bob?
Guns are designed to function for thousands of rounds. I put over 1,000 rounds through my high power, which is apparently not one of the guns that's supposed to do that. Glocks are the only ones supposed to do that. And guess what? It still worked every shot. So, you know what? Guns are designed to function after more than 20 rounds. And then you're going to, clean them and polish them put them all back together, maybe correctly. Maybe.
Well, all of us don't visit America to go to Sandy Hook and shoot 20 rounds and then pack up our guns in 5 minutes. You know?
You have a good functioning gun when you're done shooting, and it's not super dirty, and like you put it in your holster, it's gonna work the next time you pull it out.
Nah.
Yeah.
The guns I bring out, I run them super dirty, and I bring them back, and I clean them, and I put them away, and then I carry on the rest of my day.
You run 1,000 rounds through your gun every time you go out shooting? Most people.
I mean, I don't pack up 100 guns with me to go out. You know, I'll pack up like 5 or 10 guns and go out, and yeah, run them dirty. I don't go by myself usually.
How many rounds do you put through them to make them dirty?
Hold on, Bob. It's not all muzzle dirt, right? Jimmy's probably talking just the dust that happens in the desert. And
oh yeah, you get grit, grime, sand, dude.
And they're all designed to function that way. So, yeah.
All right. Well, now we're going back for it. Angelina, do you want to throw caveats now? This is the caveat time.
Okay, here's my caveat time. So if I go shooting and I come back and I'm like, ugh, I'm not cleaning these things. This stuff smells. I will clean my carry pistol because, like the point you made, I like to go shooting in the desert and it's like dusty and shitty, and like even if you don't think it's dusty, there's totally dust everywhere. So I do like to clean that out because carry pistol. So I don't want that thing. Everything else, I mean, I'll let. But like some of them I clean just because it's like, I mean, they're full of dust, and but I'm not like, oh my god, I gotta do it right now.
Yep, and I think that's what I was gonna say too. That I don't want to get to where I'm too obsessed with it, because I think then you'd end up taking them apart too often, and then these are machines that are designed to come apart, but not necessarily every screw every time. So I try not to get myself into that where I'm making sure the gun's immaculate all the time. Other than the caveat, I guess, that you want to check them at least a couple of times a year, make sure you're not getting rust or something like that on them.
Oh, you mean like completely taking down your pistols and rifles and all that? Yeah, I don't.
I mean, I'll just take them out shooting a couple of times like we do, and then as long as I look at them, make sure they're not bad, and then every once in a while I'll surprise myself. I'll be like, dang it, that was not the right strategy. Like I got rust all over them. I screwed something up on one, and then I just take my lumps and my gun's worth less, and I keep moving. But I just don't. I know when I first started shooting, or when I cared more about my guns, I guess. Every time when we went shooting, it was like, let's go back and clean, and it just seems less important to me now to come back and spend the afternoon cleaning.
Yeah, I hear you. I won't take down everything, but I will clean out. I'll clean the gun. I'll take it apart, field strip it, do everything that needs to be done to it.
I guess it depends on how often you're cleaning too. I guess I'm putting it in the frame of mind where we were shooting pretty much every month at least, so they were getting out and getting used again sooner than later and getting all oiled up again. But if you're only shooting on the rare occasion, then it's probably best to just clean them up, put them back up, nice.
Yeah.
Not use them again for another year.
Well, yeah, even on a monthly occasion, and like Bob was saying, if I were for some reason, like one time I was out and a buddy of mine was like, hey, I'm over by the range. Went over there and shot a couple of magazines and saved myself one magazine of my carry pistol. I didn't go home and clean it or nothing like that. I wasn't crazy about it because I only shot 30 rounds out of it. So that kind of stuff I wouldn't care. But yeah, if I'm out all day with the family or something like that, my guns are coming home filthy. More than likely, my hands will be filthy too if I didn't wear gloves.
We're going to take that question and throw it to a future show midnight. Thanks for the question.
Yeah.
Giving those dirty, old, rusty pistols you get rid of, you don't want to clean. Yeah, actually, we do.
Yeah.
Keep dropping them out in the desert, but somehow they keep finding their way home.
Yeah.
Like I say, I mean, like I'll clean my guns once a year. Now it might be I clean one a month and just rotate through them. Although that takes more than a year, but yeah, I mean, I just don't find it's necessary, and I've never had. Well, of course, I only have the high power and the SIG, and the Browning and the Colt. So a Colt rubber gun, but none of them have ever failed. And I don't clean them often, but they've never failed.
Talk about it without having to bring up our guns.
Yeah, I just don't see the big deal about it. I mean, when I was a kid, I shot my 22 for, I was a kid. I didn't clean shit.
I wonder how many people just watch our show. Like, how many of the 34 people watching right now are just watching it for the drinking game to like be waiting for Bob to say high power.
Eh?
That's not fair. I hardly ever say A, number one. And
I know.
I haven't mentioned the high power for a couple of shows at least.
That's why they're watching, because they're getting thirsty.
I know everybody's getting thirsty. It's been like a couple of weeks. They haven't been allowed to drink.
All right, so cleaning guns after each outing. Do we change Jimmy's mind? Did we set him straight?
No.
I don't think we did.
And actually, my quote will reflect why later. We'll see that at the end of the show, so everybody can watch to the end to see why my quote reflects on what Jimmy's
A bunch of
decision.
people were like, I'm tuning out now, and then they're like, what? Oh, I'm sticking around now.
That was for
Yeah.
true. I didn't pick it on that. It fits it. Yeah.
So one of the reasons we call it the Daily Gun Show is because we do this on a daily basis. Every single weeknight, we're up here doing this at midnight. Get rid of that. So today we're looking, or because we want to look at a gun shop every day. So today we're looking at a gun shop in Florida, Merritt Island Gun Company. I'm guessing this one also came in from the emails. And this one's got pictures right on the front of their website. I like it. You get to see an idea of what the shop looks like. Right away, you know kind of the neighborhood and the scale of the shop and what it looks like. I like it. Kind of the age of it probably too. See some of the shelving is just 2x4s. I like it when they're not spending a bunch of money on garbage. You can see some long guns over there. Looks like they got some accessories. It's my kind of shop. Looks like they got a shooting range. Has anybody ever been here by any chance?
Nope.
Nope.
No.
So it's in Florida, and we'll see if anybody out here knows
Alright.
about it. One of these days, maybe when I do this in the future, I'll keep track of who sent it to us, but I don't do that. So looks like they're open every day but Tuesday. What do you think of that? I'm all about a shop being open over the weekend, and they're open till 9 p.m. And then looks like to keep their employees sane, they have Tuesdays off. What are your thoughts on a Tuesday off situation?
I would say who cares about a Tuesday? If they're open on Sundays and Saturdays, they're A-okay in my book.
Yep.
Yeah, and if you've got enough employees, they could have like Tuesday, Wednesday off. I'm sure the managers have the weekend off. That's the way it usually works.
I like that they're open late too. I mean, I don't know them, but
Seems like a good idea. If everybody's getting off of work at 5
Yeah.
or 6 and then trying to eat and then wanting to get over to a gun range and actually enjoy it, I think that'd be cool. Instead of having to rush over and risk getting in trouble or traffic and everything. And then it looks like here's some firearms. It's hard to tell if they don't have a lot of firearms or what the deal is, but I wouldn't say it's the most firearms I've seen in a shop before, but maybe they do a lot of FFL work.
Or it could just be they're not showing everything.
Could be. So appreciate whoever sent this into us, and that's the goal of the show, is to talk about a new gun shop every day, and we'll try to do them more justice if we have somebody in here. And if anybody wants to jump in and talk about their show, you're always welcome.
For sure. There's a lot of people out there that have really cool local gun shops. We'd love to see pictures and have you on the show and talk about them.
What do you want to do next?
All right, let's do
what
that.
do we got?
This is DP gun.
Let's do. Well, isn't Wednesday Instagram Wednesday? Instagram Wednesday.
Oh yeah, you might as well knock that out. That usually takes like an hour.
Yeah, let's do that one. That takes a while.
I just interject and tell everyone what to do, so that's how that
Well,
happens.
that's pretty much a woman's job, right?
I'll take it.
So we got 1893. I think last week we had 1888.
I'm pissed that I didn't. I don't think I hashtag Daily Gun Show on anything this week.
What? So 1893.
Says we had 1833 last week.
So we got 60 of them up in here without any from Angelina.
Snap.
How far back do we go? I remember all these pictures. This one I do remember from last week, right? I remember this one though.
Yeah, I don't remember that one.
But we got hearts on them. I remember this one, I think.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that one. I remember that one.
About this one last week, but you made these up.
Oh, yeah, so that's last week.
And it says February 12th. So, well, that's a while ago.
Yeah, that's old.
We need 14. So let's probably say around here. So we got Angry posting pictures of this 90% of where it needs to be, he says. Then you got this hit or miss sticker on there. That's what he means by 90%. He needs to peel that off of there, right?
Yeah, and get some goo gone too. That'll help.
So did we talk about this one? What was the deal with this? So Jimmy's doing this pizza tour. This is to get Chicago-style pizza in Phoenix. Is that what this is?
Yeah, it needs to be closer in. Right now, it's about an hour out, and it's not cool. So I'm trying to spread awareness and get the word out. Contact your reps.
What this thing is? Here's what I found. A couple of things. I found that we need to try out a Indian taco. Have you ever had one of these?
Okay. No.
All right. So we need to figure out that, and maybe we can do some sort of an Indian taco because I think it's somewhere. Might even have been in this area. And we looked at it the other night. So we left. So we're gonna schedule some sort of a Indian taco run up there, and maybe incorporate a Chicago pizza in with the mix. I remember looking at this one, right? So maybe we did look at that pizza one. Oh, I remember looking at all these. So I think this is definitely over the weekend. The brownie was patented, and then it was a couple of days earlier. It was, it was patented, and a couple of days later, the patents were filed. I posted this one up there. This was that rock from when Ghost and I went out and talked to the guy who owns the silo where the Titan II missile silo blew up, and that's a chunk of rock from it.
Oh, you didn't point out, though, how I was the first person and I won.
Technically, Angelina won by knowing it first. So I don't know. Is that cheating, though, when you're in the part of the Daily Gun Show?
No, but how would I only knew because I've been a follower.
That's our trick, though. Anytime somebody knows too much about the show, we can just make them a host, and then it avoids any obligation to.
Yeah, they can't win anymore.
That was what happened with Jimmy, and it was happening with Z. That happened with you, and we're eventually going to have Angry on here. All right, so this is Patriot posting a bunch of stuff that he got from Ghost, I guess. Clover posting something. Classroom. Oh, looks like he's playing with a bow. Oh, snap. Looks like we got a Magic the Gathering Chesma card.
Oh, very cool.
Here's a picture from the tactical quiz posted. What do you know what this is?
It's an X.
Oh,
Well, soon to be an X.
Okay. Jimmy posting a picture here with the Glock. The wide Glock, it turns out. Got some Dracos and a PAP. Clover. We already posted them. Do we hit all these right? This says 4 days ago, so we couldn't have. How are we getting all these hearts on here already? Did I go on with the phone maybe and hit a bunch of hearts?
You probably did.
I did and ruined it for everybody. So here's Gary, Yankee, a couple of Yankee patches, Clover, Ardot. I think that works out pretty good. Clover's always talking about the thumbnails and all that. This gives them all this room over here and still gives them the size of the video over there. I remember seeing that one. Okay, picture maybe from the news. What's it doing here? Piece of chicken?
No, it's an eye underneath the chicken's arm. Wing. See the eye? The eyeball?
No.
That's what happens because they're putting 2 more hormones into the chickens. Now you're getting eyeballs.
Hmm.
There you go. That's what you get, Clover, for posting that picture.
Yeah.
There's the tour. Posted a quick picture of that. Got a wet AK. Got like absolutely no commentary on these. I'm just whipping through them. It's becoming a job for us. I like that one, 54R. I was telling Clover, I think this one's pretty cool. Do you guys see this before? Looks like some kind of
I like
mist
that one.
wrapped in metal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think the Lehigh is pretty neat.
Rate increasing device. Another Photoshop. Yeah. Clover, I guess, in the pocket of Big True Spec.
Hey, better be careful with that nylon belt and that knife like that.
This
Yeah,
is
no
that
kidding. Those big
knife
cuts.
it's that knife that Clover ripped off in Vegas, stole.
Was that? Why didn't you let me steal a really nice knife? You didn't.
Because you have plenty of knives. He had to fly there naked. These are pretty cool. I didn't see these. Stickers getting sent out.
Oh, look at a tiny little knife,
Yeah, I was saying that's like a little tiny buck.
baby buck.
And we got
Maybe that's what he used to cut out all the stickers with.
No, this one's not new. So that's an interesting set this week. No animals. No animals. I'm not saying I'm disappointed. I'm just ashamed. Just ashamed.
Who's
Not one
that?
critic. Or am I crazy? Not one. So I don't even know what to vote for.
I think I'm gonna. Oh, go ahead.
You're breaking up. The A what?
The
Bob?
what? What?
Bob, what are you going for? Jimmy? Anyone? Am I the one cutting out?
Yeah. I think I'm gonna pick for that African lady with the AK on the
Go to
water.
see the African lady with the baby? Okay.
I'm gonna say the silo chunk
Oh,
or
right on.
the ammo.
The rock or the ammo?
Yeah.
This ammo?
Yeah, Clover's ammo.
And Bob?
I'm gonna go for the African lady with the AK-74. Is that 74 or 47? No, it's 47. Okay.
Yeah, it's for so with the Baker Light man.
What country AK-47 are we looking at here?
I think that's Africa, if I'm not mistaken.
Well,
No,
you are.
the AK.
So what country's AK is that?
Bulgarian?
No. You get one chance and you just had it.
So, well, I guess that's what I'm picking.
I'm picking Russian.
No, it's not Russian.
One Mucinex lasts 12 hours. Let's
Oh, I can't get any of my sound effects to work. Do we
German?
even have guesses?
Uh-oh. Steadily got an answer out there.
Romanian is
Nice.
not correct. Egyptian
Okay.
is not correct. Come on, it couldn't be more obvious.
Polish?
On the side. Angelina, any guesses? What country of origin this AK is from?
No, I'm not gonna guess. I don't know.
Pimply stock, plastic grip, plastic upper. It's a German. PIK. Come on. Everybody's got the deck of AK-47 cards. But I don't know if Angelina did not pick this one. I don't know if there's anything I can do. Only thing I could do is pick one of those, and I'm going to do it just to hijack the whole thing. So I'm going to pick Clover's bullet picture. So now it gets defaulted out to the chat. It looks
All
like finally came up there. So now it's over to the chat. Well, we're going to give them one length of the countdown clock here. I think that's 30 seconds. I can get it back up. And we'll take voting for that long. So it's either the African AK or the hell is it? Bullets. Crazy missile-looking bullet. $20.
You just do that to be a pain in the ass, don't you?
We do it for 2, then it would be a whole minute. Not getting anything. Nothing on the YouTube side. Too much of a lag. All right, we'll do one more, I guess.
Good deal. African AK girl is not original content. Disqualified.
Oh, Clover's bullets.
So what do we
AK, AK. Sorry, Clover. We got 3 for the AK.
Yeah.
Were there boobs in that or something? Why is everyone voting for it?
It was like a quarter top boob, but it wasn't much.
A quarter top.
Oh, there's a little bit of side boob. If that's what you guys did it for, that's sad. Come on.
That's not. I mean, my God.
And then which one was the consensus then? Which one was the consensus?
AK, the AK on the African
Nothing
kid
for
little bag on her back. I mean, that's the coolest thing ever.
The lady's side boob. Voting
Well,
for
no,
something.
think about it, right? She's got that thing to protect herself from lions while she's walking with her baby on her back.
I don't think it's for lions. I think it's for crazy warlords and
Warlords,
Yeah.
whatever. But still, that's a woman who's taken her own safety in her hands. She's responsible for herself. That is everything about what.
where it's possible. Some guy with an AK-47 said, "I'll give you a quarter if you stand here with that gun," and she was like, "Yeah, all right." And she
It's
took
possible,
the
but
kept walking.
it's possible, but that's the way she walks around, just to make sure she's safe.
Like, that'll get me into Nat Geo.
Anyhow, why don't we walk away satisfied that we picked the best picture on the Instagram?
I think we picked a good one.
All right, so then that was our gun shop for the day. That was everything, I think, except for this thing, which is Bob's.
Oh, which one?
The gun of the day. So every day we try to come up with a gun.
Right, the
Bob tries to
D20.
make it crazy, and he succeeded again.
Why don't you guys figure? Like, I don't understand why you guys don't know about these guns. This thing is just freaking badass. 7.62
I want to be able to shoot stuff and eat dinner.
by 5. It's got a drum magazine on top of it. They work really well.
Don't you call that a wafer magazine? Or a discus magazine?
Drum.
So disc mag.
Drum.
Yeah, I thought it was this.
Like a reminds me of 2 dimensions, not 3 dimensions.
It's much like a Lewis gun, but far more efficient, far better design. Works better than a Lewis gun. Hey, I know a Lewis gun, you know, that's our gun and this is their gun, but you know what? Works damn good. And it's just really a decent gun.
Judging from my
When you say arrogant,
judging from my Lego research, it looks like it's Russian.
Yeah, 7.62 by 5.4. Just excellent gun.
damn, out of that thing,
Is it just me, or did Angelina just kind of say something that didn't make sense?
No, she was breaking up a little bit. You're saying
No,
7.6.
no. Well, yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, what I was saying is, so 7.62 by 54 out of that thing.
Right, it looks kind of fragile.
Yep. And it dumps right out the bottom. Super reliable. Just a really good gun. They used it for years and years and years. You know, the Russians, right? They had other guns that were full auto squad machine guns, but they still used this one for years because it worked.
Yeah,
So how
can you-
many rounds did that little frisbee hold?
47 or something like that.
Or okay. Some weird number.
I thought you were going to say like 100 or something.
Yeah.
It looks like you carry around like this little case for carrying records.
Yeah. And you got all your magazines in there. Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Like,
Yeah.
what do you got there?
Kinda
Nothing,
cool.
just film strips. Like, oh, okay. You can pass.
Look at that thing. It just looks badass. And you can fire it standing up, fire it from the hip or from the shoulder standing up, or from the hip, I guess. I mean, it's a really decent design for a squad automatic weapon. Especially for those days, like 1928, that's when it was invented, right? So that's when it basically went into production. So you think back to those days, and was there a whole lot else better? Not really.
20s, one to 1918.
Yeah, something that was way heavier.
All right.
No water cooling, man.
Do they make semi-auto versions of it, you think? I don't think I've ever seen one.
I haven't either. There's the guy at Wolverine Sports, just an hour away from me, has got one.
Or just saying you keep your pizza warm while you're shooting it. I think
that would work too. Just imagine, right? You could actually probably heat a pizza up if you were shooting enough drums. Just keep slapping a fresh drum. I guess not, because actually the drums would be cold when you put them on. It'd rotate it cool though. No, actually, I don't think it rotates.
And then probably fly off the side, actually.
Yeah. No, it actually doesn't rotate. It just dumps. But it would be cool.
Anyway, why did they go? I guess the idea was to have, like, instead of having one mag just jamming out, have one use the space if you're going to put something on top. I guess that was some idea.
Yeah, it was the reason, a lot of people complain about the Bren gun and other guns that have the magazine on top. Oh, it obscures the sights, right? So you put a flat pan magazine on it. It doesn't do that. Still gives you a large capacity. And, but, that makes it wider.
Do they load it one at a time, or do you load it by opening it like a Chinese drum and load it all and then?
I'm not even sure how it loads, whether it loads like one at a time or whether it's like a Lewis gun load.
I'd almost give it a pass if you can do something where you just open it like a cake pan or whatever, and then just sprinkle the ammo in there and close it, and it is some sort of fast loading mechanism. I could give it a pass for being so weird looking.
Well, that's what the Lewis is like, but it's not like you can't just sprinkle the rounds in. You have to place.
Well, you know what I mean, but not have to put if you're going to shoot 100 rounds, you don't have to sit there for an hour putting in 100 rounds.
Yeah, it doesn't take that long.
Because I don't see that thing having a machine, like a linking machine is super clever. That's one of the reasons I like the PKM so much. You can load a PKM just as fast as you can unload it.
Yeah. That's probably why it, didn't continue to be produced. But it was produced for quite a long time. It was a very effective firearm. And, that's our gun of the day. So, like it, suck it up, Buttercup.
What does that take us into?
I don't know.
I guess I could talk about what's coming on tomorrow. Or am I
What's
early
coming on
for that?
tomorrow?
Just a little bit of this.
Oh, cookies.
Yeah, I'm tired and transitions are weak, so sorry. Everybody knows what that sound means. Time to crack them knuckles and whip out them keyboards and get ready for the tactical pop quiz. Today, I thought the last couple ones were fairly easy ones, but apparently I was wrong. So I'm hoping today is somewhat of an easy one. What caliber is the Sturmgewehr 58? What caliber is the Sturmgewehr 58, the STG 58?
So, basically what we're looking at is you had to lower the bar. So this is like lowered expectations.
I'm just hoping somebody gets it. That's where I'm standing.
We got 62 by 51. Yeah, that's right.
That?
Steadily on YouTube's. Steadily on YouTube's is the... Wow. Okay, now apparently the lowered expectations worked because Steadily heaved himself over that bar.
Yeah, he climbed over. He made it.
Didn't fall
Congrats.
Over. It was only knee height, but he made it. So
Congrats, Steadily.
Steadily, that makes you the tactical shot of the day. Well done, man.
Oh, I guess I should really say what's actually coming on tomorrow too. So early watch coming on 9:30 between 9:30 a.m. and 10 a.m. Eastern. Then we're gonna have lobbies sprinkled throughout the day.
Oh no, not anymore. Not.
Oh no!
Not
Oh,
much. New gun channels.
nice.
These are back in the days. Back in 2017. Now we have rooms. People have their own rooms up. So Knives will probably have a room going. Hopefully, other people will have rooms going throughout the day. Everyone's encouraged to do whatever you want to do over there. But yeah, we don't have just one live lobby chat anymore.
Oh, sweet. All right, cool. Well, then there'll be stuff done throughout the day. Then prime time, we're still doing prime time stuff. I'm assuming, all right.
Only twice as much and even better.
Sounds like a plan. So we got wait.
The correct
Today's
answer was
Wednesday.
762 by 51, 308.
Yeah. However you want to word it, it was 308. Yeah.
Yeah.
762 NATO, whatever.
So
So
I'm
go ahead.
Jim. I was just gonna say the new gun channels design. The live show schedule is up at the top right. So we're giving you little crib notes to what you can find out on the top of any page of gun channel. At the very top right, it'll have the description of what's up there. If you got a live show that you're doing or you want to add to the list, get with one of the moderators. But just get your show on the list, and then when Jimmy or I, whoever, starts talking about stuff like this, we know who to plug, where to send them.
Yeah, absolutely. So tomorrow is Thursday. We will be starting off with Ellis at 8, the Outlaw Hatfield. Then Gun News Weekly with Tack at 9 Eastern. And this is Yankees solo week, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, okay. So this is Yankees solo week at 10 Eastern. Then Clover Tack is having his after hours at 11. And of course, wrap your night up right with a little taste of the Daily Gun Show. You can have the whole thing if you want it, but
It's sort of like eating something like pizza. Not real good pizza, but real hot pizza, right? And then you're like sorry afterwards because your mouth hurts, and we're like that ice cream after, where that's where the satisfying relief at the end.
yeah.
I don't know if I like being ice cream.
Well, I'm saying they regret their decision eating that hot pizza. Like they did it, and now they're regretting it. But now they can look forward to that refreshing, cool, delicious.
We ease your regret. How about that?
I understand because if Dano hears that, there's
Oh God! Don't even talk about Dano eating ice cream for Christ's sakes.
Yeah, and that's everything. So
All right, well, we'll wrap it up then.
no, not even. What do you?
What do you mean?
By the hour? Well, number one, we started late, and number two, we haven't even done a movie. And there's a thing called history I'd like to get into. Looking over that right now. So,
Please.
well, we could talk about the movie while I'm perusing the history. I don't see anything good. Hitler.
Yeah.
Well,
Day After, which, believe it or not, is not a movie about abortion, even though that's what Never Enough was talking about all night. No, it's the day after is after the nuke drops, and that's not actually a movie. Wasn't it a miniseries on TV?
Lord Baden-Powell was born today. The day after was one TV show. I thought you said
it was a TV movie.
Oh, okay.
movie, but was it 3 days? I don't think so. And I watched it recently, and it was horribly bad.
Okay. Yeah, I know. You know what's the funny part is? I was working somewhere where I had to work nights. My girlfriend at the time phoned me and told me, "You got to get home. Somebody just dropped a bomb on this city." And I'm like, "What?" And so I'm asking people coming in where I worked, right? You heard anything about some American city getting nuked? They're like, "No," and look at me like I'm some kind of idiot. But she kept phoning me every half hour. "No, I watch it. It's on the news. Some people got fooled by it, believe it or not.
Well, it was a long time ago, and there was only TV. So unless you were watching, and I think even the other channels would say stuff like, "There's a show on the other channel that's not news" or something, right? Like because they were so concerned about it. I seem to remember it being like, "You're going to see something on TV, and we don't want you to get alarmed if you pick up in the middle. Don't freak out." Do you remember that coming on, Jimmy?
No, but I did see it after we talked about it before, and I started watching part of it, and it does not hold up. I mean, if it has some historical value or whatever to anybody, I could respect that. I could see that, but I wouldn't watch it again.
No, I wouldn't either. It's interesting. If you kind of remember it, you can go back and watch it again and see how bad it is.
It was, yeah. You watch it now, and
it's one of his favorite movies, and it changed his life because of the, I guess, putting it out there. I guess everybody didn't want to think about it, right, during the Cold War.
Well, yeah, and I mean that's
it. I guess it affected some people, but I mean, like, it's really dated now.
But I could see it if you were like, because I knew there was preppers. I remember going to gun shows. We never talked about this, but I should probably do a video on it. I've got some stuff from gun shows back in the olden days where it's just like pieces of paper that somebody typed on and then took it to like a copy machine or a ditto machine or whatever, made a bunch of copies of it, and then they would sell that as a packet. And it was just all kinds of prepper stuff. And it's hardly any different than it is today, other than it was literally just prepper stuff, like out of a manual, less than like a endless debate about what caliber or what gun to buy. It was just real prepper stuff, like get this CB radio, get this food, get this ammo, get this tools. And back in those days, that wasn't really talked about too much. Maybe the occasional TV show might mention that a prepper existed, but I think that TV show might have been for some people like Red Dawn was. Like, oh snap, like it's actually out, you know, they made a movie about this. Like, this is mainstream now. Like, people should be ready for, you know, if this happens in the middle of the country, think about what that's going to do to your corner of the country.
Oh, that shit was real. Like, I remember as a kid, my brother, who's much older than me, was into it. He was part of a group that, you know, had a doctor, a dentist, you know, all these other people that were, you know, had skills, and they had like almost like a cottage campground area up in the mountains near where we lived, right? And it was like, that's where they had their cabins, but their cabins were all stocked, and the whole plan was, you know, shit happens, everybody went up there, and you know, you all had your job, you all had to have a skill and this kind of shit. It was like they were serious as hell about it.
Angelina stepped away, so I don't think she's seen it anyway. So why don't we just go around, Bob?
Two limp thumbs. I don't know.
Two limp? Isn't that one?
It's because it was
doing to it twice with a limp thumb.
It was an interesting concept, and it was real enough that like dumb people could be fooled by it. But you know, well, because they did. They made it like it was a real news broadcast. That's what screwed people up, eh? And
I'm only giving that credibility because there literally was 3 channels back then, and I don't think most people can think about it or do put the effort to think about what it was like back then when there was only 3 channels.
Yeah,
so if you saw something weird on one channel, you were like, I'm gonna go check the other channel, and then the other channel, like, damn, 2/3 of the news or 1/3 of the news is telling me that this is happening.
This is like 80% real right now.
Yeah, exactly. Like, this has 33% credibility right now.
Well, it's true.
I'm giving it nothing. I'm not going to give it a negative one because, like I said, I could respect someone's past and like appreciating that movie, but I give it none.
I'm going to give it a half of a thumb, which I don't normally do, but I want to give it a little bit more than nothing because I do remember it being interesting. And it might be interesting because at least it exists, and I'll give it a half a thumb for existing because otherwise there just wouldn't be a movie that talks about what it was like to be in the Cold War. Plus, Gary's saying that it was filmed right near where he's at. So.
Yeah, and I just want to say this kind of, what do they call that when you out broadcast or whatever? Roosted, you're completely right. The original Red Dawn was the only one to watch. The reboot was a piece of shit. Although the Australian one wasn't bad.
The Australian one was awesome, and we need to talk about that one more often. I should watch that one again, Ken, too. So
I saw it just recently on YouTube, I think, so it's out there.
Looks like we need all kinds of movies. I haven't watched the email in a while, but always put the call out there for movies. Sometimes we're way ahead. Right now, we're only like a week out. So if you got movies that you have not heard us talk about or you'd like to hear us talk about, throw it out there. I was also going to mention again, I don't know if we talked about it in this show, we're in the 4th year upgrade over on Gun Channels. So lots of time being spent over there. And I sold a parts kit today, so I'm not dying, but do appreciate the people that are putting cash towards the project. I won't get into all the explanation again, but the more resources we have, the more we can do over there. Right now, we've got 23 people supporting it. It'd be nice to see a bunch of people supporting it and raise some funds for it so that we can continue to work on it over there. So we got big plans, and the more resources, the quicker we can get to them.
You got to remember that for the minimum, you can do a very minimum, but
I can guarantee you I would charge more than $1,000 to build Gun Channels if I went to some attorney or something.
As far as the app stuff goes, I'm just saying, like, for the minimum.
I'm talking about what's there right now. I would charge more than $1,000 to build that. I'm not saying I'm charging anybody. I'm just saying appreciate the people that are participating in the project. It makes it seem like I didn't take the wrong career path to try to make a 2A community.
True about that, man.
Although at this point, there's nothing to pocket. I've done the math. It looks like at this point, I put a note up there. We're probably going to fund the cards, so that's good. So I do appreciate the people that are participating at this level. It won't cost me anything, but anything that comes in at this point, is actually putting towards getting something over on Gun Channels. We know Jimmy and I did some research. It's going to cost at least hundreds to get to the part where people are going to be able to be satisfied with mobile, and then if we want to get to app, we're talking 1,000 plus. And cards cost something. So right now we're sitting at $1,000 with 25 people. If I were to get 50 decks of cards made, I don't know, $500 something plus shipping and everything. By the time they take fees and everything, like I say, it's just about even. So we're not making any money on the Gun Channels project at this point, but we do appreciate the people that help share it out there. And at least it's moving. We still have 8 days left, and it's a community, so it'll be what it's going to be, and that'll be up to the people that are part of the community, right? Looking for feedback on the new organization of it, trying to take into consideration people's use of the place and the comments and concerns that we've had. So got all kinds of projects over there. We've got the cards that we're efforting on. There's a poll going on right now to give us some feedback on the backs of the cards. More than likely tomorrow or the next day, we'll address another stage of the cards, specifically who's going to be on them, and then maybe some sort of a way to do a final tally so that we have some idea of how to figure out how many decks we'll need, because about a week from now the project will be over and we'll have a final amount of how many people bought them, and then I'm sure we'll want to give some to somebody if we have the money to do it, right? So we'll be working on all that again as a collaborative thing, and stay tuned. I can't broadcast on gun websites anymore because I'm an idiot. So we'll be doing that, I guess, on the Gear Websites channel. And then we'll be posting it on Gun Channels on the channel that we built for the card project.
All right. So we're at the point where we can do the quote and wrap this puppy up. I think so. Well, nobody's saying anything else. So I'm going to do it. Now, remember what I said about this quote. Relates to what Jimmy was saying. So it's by Winston Churchill. Great guy. Read a book about him, watch a documentary, do whatever. You will find out this man was amazing, regardless of what some people try to say. But anyway, let's talk about before that. Please like, share, subscribe. Give us a thumbs up if you haven't already. If you can, support us on Patreon. If you can't, or don't want to just give us money, go to the store. I mean, we have stuff. I know somebody was saying that we were out of everything that they liked. Well, we'll get it back in. Email us and tell us you would like us to get that back in. We'll try if we get enough people want it. It's not going to cost us like an arm and a leg. So anyway, let's get on to quote by Winston Churchill. Heroic, wonderful man. Like cigars and a bowler hat. Gotta love that. I got a good bowler hat. A fanatic is one who can't change his mind and won't change the subject. You can relate to that to Jimmy as well as to gun control fanatics. So on that note, thanks everybody for watching and listening. We'll see y'all tomorrow. That was it. We're at the end.
Oops.
Music now.
The guys and gals of gunwebsites.com encourage you to take a CCW class every year, practice at least once a month, and carry every day. Thanks for watching gunwebsites.com.